Alright, so it's with the taste of meat in my mouth that I'm gonna go into North Star Pinball here. There. Alright, I'm gonna check this place out. I've been here back a couple years ago and they just had first opened and now I'm here. I'm gonna meet with Rob and play some games. Let's see what happens. Here I am. Those are the games. This would be your place, no? It is. I'm part owner. Yeah, well, good for you. That's good publicity. That's good publicity. Put it on the fucking tube. I don't care. Yeah. It's a good place to be. Yeah, you know it. I love it. Well, what's your favorite? Like, do you have a favorite game? Yeah, I like Vegas. Did you ever play Vegas?
Oh man, that's the godly. That's the premier. Yeah,
it's unbelievably great.
You know, it's underrated. Collectors underrate
that game. You know why I like it?
Because every time it turns, it makes a sound.
Yeah.
The sound just drives you nuts.
Oh, that's
I just want more and more credits.
I think you should play Central.
Another fun one of that era is called Bar.
Vegas was my favorite.
Bar none. That's awesome.
Vegas was here, I'd be here quite often.
I was wondering when you're gonna put like what's that one? Not Monte Carlo, that other Old Chicago.
We had Old Chicago.
Yeah.
We opened with
Chicago.
Old Chicago as well.
Yeah.
That was a great game. It stayed here for over a year.
Yeah, no, I know doubt it. You have these games here, you have some Hitchcock on the screen.
Well, we have a montage of any movie with the pinball.
Oh, nice.
So we do a loop thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of European films.
Yeah. I see there's some EM there in the background.
It's always a pinball.
Yeah, media artists. That's exactly what it takes to be media artists. Behind North Star.
Okay.
Yeah, like what is I know North Star to me is like even the name en français.
En français. What's North Star? Because in Quebec you could name a company in English back in the 40s.
Yeah.
It was called North Star Coin Machine Company.
But you call it Pisseterie.
Machine à pièce.
Machine à pièce.
Look, the real name of the company back in the 40s that the Tremblay brothers had was called, I have the certificate, the registration certificate. I have a scan of it on my website.
Okay.
And it says North Star Coin Machine Company. Okay?
Really? Okay.
So then we said, how do we translate that? Because we wanted more than just North Star.
Yeah.
So we said machine à sous. Well, machine à sous in French means gambling machine, means slot machine.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. So Justin came up with machine à pièce, and pièce is an Italian word for a dollar. But it's used in French too, right? Because it's Latin. So French and Italian are close, right? So machine à pièce, and the term pièce is used in Quebec quite often. That's une pièce, which means you have a dollar. So it worked for us, right?
Yeah.
The idea behind bringing pinball back to the streets in Montreal was always something I wanted to do. I mean, I think I wrote that on my website back in 2004. That was an idea that I wanted to happen.
Yeah.
And when I met Justin, and then when I met Adam, and they had the same thing in mind, and then we worked towards it. I mean, it took at least 4 or 5 years of planning.
Yeah.
But we did it, and we changed the law, and we made it happen.
No, it's been something that is really Toronto. We have our. I can't be an authority on the pinball bars there because they have their own aura about them. They have their own regulars. They have their own vibe about them.
Sure.
Whether they be casual players, I don't think that they have anything quite as eclectic and as curated as something as in taste. They have something more as in for sheer playability and for the titles and that kind of thing. Right?
But also the fact that a lot of the younger guys, I mean, I know City Pinball runs a lot of machines in Toronto, and a lot of people don't know how to fix an EM. I mean, younger people don't. And you know, that's part of it here is like we have an EM section, we have the newer games, and we have the solid state stuff. But you have to know how to keep them running properly. Because it sucks when a machine doesn't play right. It just fucking blows.
Yeah. And that was the most rewarding experience I had with Snow Derby.
Yeah.
Once it started playing right, and you're like, son of a bitch is actually really taunting you when it's on the last ball.
Yeah, no, dude. I mean, it's not because it's old that it's no good. This whole mentality of new is better. I mean,
that's
sometimes
wrong.
It's true. No, sometimes it's true. But it's not always freaking true. This is the problem. And you know, you see it in marketing. You know, iPhone 10, iPhone 8, always better than the last. It's not always true. Not always.
Yeah, like the spike system.
Yeah, you know,
Stern spike.
Listen, Stern spike system is basically because it's cheaper. I mean, like we said, Gary's a hell of a businessman. But it's not about pinball. It's about business.
Yeah.
And it is a business. I mean, you know, we dream about it differently, but it's always been a business.
So how did you guys curate and amass the decor, the environment, the idea behind, like the Bronco doors? Cowboy.
Well, they were there when we bought this bar. This was an existing bar, and it was sort of a McGill dive. It was basically a place where people, it was called Corova. People used to come here and it would open at 10 and close at 3 and just drink a lot, real cheap, and do a lot of drugs and dance. When we got this place, we gutted it. We kept the doors for the bathrooms. But we gutted it.
Saloon doors.
Yeah, and Justin is an incredible designer, and he's got a sense of aesthetic, and that I haven't met anybody with a sense of aesthetic like him. And you know, when he said we're gonna get the Gottlieb sign, I said there's no fucking way we're gonna get it off Mike Hanley. And he goes, look, we're gonna get it, and we wanted to put it in the stairwell. Okay, like as you're going up. The problem is we'd have to encase it in glass or plexi.
People are gonna.
And then he said, let's put it behind the bar.
Garbage on it.
So we put it
behind the bar. Is perfect.
It's unbelievable. And you know, people sit here and they wonder about it, but I mean, it's the real freaking thing. And we've had operators from California, from England come to see it. I mean, this is a big attraction.
No, it is. It is, and not only that.
And you
have it against that.
It's real. You go touch it, and it's enamel, and it's like it's real, right? And it was lit with neon back then, you know? We've got LEDs behind there.
But that neon glow, that gas glow.
But you know, I'm one of the 4 people in the world who've ever installed this thing. I mean, there are probably like 2 or 3 people installed it on the factory wall. And me and James, we took 14 hours to install it and light it. It's crazy.
I would see it as a labor of love.
Yeah, and I remember him standing on that bar, trying to line up the letters, and Justin standing back. And we tried to make it look exactly like it does.
You know what? Even that whole scriptive font is something you just don't see anymore.
But dude, this would work in 1819. It would work in 2000. It'll work in 2089. It's still gonna look good.
It does. It's a trademark.
But the
logo.
the font, you can't go wrong with that. I mean, no matter how much you go back in time, it's timeless. The font is incredible.
I completely agree. That is one thing to me that when I look at it, it just, you know, you look at it and you want to look at it more. You want to look at it more. You're like,
you know, the funny thing is a little bit of an inside thing. When we got this off Mike Hanley, we came to an agreement about how we were going to deal this. He brought it to us at the Ottawa Pinball Show in September of the year before we opened. So September 2015. And I got to take it home and put it on my studio floor. And I had it on my studio floor for 3 months. Every time I woke up in the morning, I looked at it and said, what the fuck's it doing in my apartment?
This needs to live somewhere.
No, but it was like a weird thing to have the Gottlieb factory sign in your apartment.
And you have such a history.
But it's such a small apartment that I have. It's a small studio apartment. It's got It's on the 14th floor. It's got a beautiful view.
Yeah.
And here's this thing sitting on the floor, and I'm waking up every morning going, what the fuck is this doing here?
Yeah, yeah.
This should be in a museum somewhere.
Oh yeah. No,
You know?
totally.
And it was due to come here, obviously. As far as the rest of the lineup, we opened with 8 machines, and they were
I remember.
they were amazing.
I was here in February 2016. February.
So that was a month after we opened.
Yeah.
So, you know,
brand new.
here's the lineup. I mean, we had Black Hole. You don't open with a Black Hole. You can't keep those fucking things running.
You told me.
But it was never down for more than 10 hours. I think once it was down for 10 hours. We had a Capersville.
Capersville, okay.
You don't open with shit like that. That's like fucking wild. We had Golden Arrow. We had
there was Golden Arrow. There was Gottlieb. There was the
Harlem Globetrotters. Medusa.
I wish I played Medusa when I was here. I look at that game now and I'm like, I don't know how Bally
kept it going.
I don't know how they crammed so much stuff into it.
Well, dude, we at one point I got too tired. I had to take it back to the shop. I mean, we might bring it back, but it needs to go through an old overhaul, right?
Yeah.
But we had like games that you would never open a bar with. I mean, that's just insane. But it was such a bold lineup, and I was very proud of it because I picked it, and my partners wanted other things, and I said, no, I'm going to pick this first lineup.
Yeah.
I wanted to represent something that I've been dreaming about.
Yeah.
And after that, you can change whatever you want, but this is what we're going to open with. And it was the most bold lineup. I think there's a picture on the web of the first lineup, and you look at it and you go, holy shit. That's like, keep these machines running, you must be nuts.
Yeah, well, that was exactly
But they kept running, and our policy was never to have a machine down more than 10 hours. And we never passed that. We never passed 10 hours. Even Black Hole, no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, I got it back up.
Yeah.
And it's a trouble machine.
Oh yeah, I know. I think finding a good working copy, that in itself is a challenge. That's a game that I see come up time and time again, and it's like, it's having this problem. I've pulled out every last hair. I don't know what to do, what to look at next. It's just, I'm unloading it.
Yeah, but I'll tell you a funny story about Black Hole. The one we bought from a collector had all the mods done on the grounds and everything.
Yeah.
Electronically, it was really good. And what we thought was an electronic problem that we were having constantly, where the ball was getting hung up and it would freeze, was actually a mechanical problem. And it took us forever to figure out that the electronics were reliable. We thought it was electronically based. It was a connector or something. It wasn't. It was a fucking mechanical. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So once we got that, it never froze up again.
Oh, that's
crazy, right?
Yeah.
Your assumption is, oh, it's a trouble system, so I'm going to go look at the electronics, and then you neglect the obvious.
Yeah.
And this is the danger with all this internet information, is that you tend to go to what's the most common thing, but maybe your machine is doing something that's even simpler.
Yeah.
And you know, the other thing I always tell my apprentices about the internet and about the information, I say, no, bits of information do not equal understanding.
No.
Okay? So like theory of operation, theory of operation is more important than bits of information you're going to get off repair sites. And you know what? To understand what happens from the moment the coin drops to the game over light, you understand what's going on, you don't need a fucking schematic anymore.
Yeah.
But you got to know it in your balls. You really do.
Yeah.
It takes a while.
And that was the thing that scared me, was a schematic with Snow Derby. After reading it, I'm like, man alive, I have no freaking idea. And no joke, the reason what was happening was that ball 1, the bonus would be at 0.
Okay.
Ball 2, 3, 4, 5, the bonus would always give you the first step free.
Okay, that's weird.
It's weird, but then when you look at modern games, early solid states all started doing that. Like the first, they would always give you that first bonus.
Start at 1,000.
Yeah, start at 1,000. I took a look at it.
Gottlieb doesn't do that.
I didn't. Yeah, I had no idea.
Less, yeah.
And what it was the actual bonus. There's like a lap counter unit, which is those 2 AS relays.
Yeah.
And the guy took some kind of bonus match relay and then rewired it.
Okay.
But it worked.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah.
The thing was that it was fine, but it wasn't matching the theory of operation.
Yeah, it wasn't the right configuration.
So there was a guy on pin side, and no joke, he had a Snow Queen. He had a Snow Queen that he was parting out.
Yeah.
And he sent me that the right bonus unit for free. Yeah. And he was like, give it a try. Yeah, have to rebuild it. It was low use too.
Yeah.
But it required like a little shim here, a spacer there, a little adjustment in the spring. Got that thing running beautifully.
Wow.
And every time it was satisfaction. Not scoring high, not getting long ball times. The satisfaction was in, guess what? It's doing exactly how it's supposed to do it. You know?
There's something nice about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. To me, that's the biggest piece of like.
Yeah.
To get that with Middle Earth actually got boring after that.
Yeah.
Middle Earth was playing so well that I got bored because there was nothing left to fix on it. It's a simple game overall, but the drop target banks were fine. The pop.
That's why people buy more games, right? Sometimes they buy more games because they're tired of playing the same thing, or they're tired of fixing the same thing.
Yeah. It's funny, you know what? I was on the EM forum on Facebook.
Yeah.
There's an EM section, and some guys were like, "Oh yeah, you know your Snow Derby Restore looks pretty good. They haven't seen one in real life. You know the paint was okay, whatever. You know you kind of dressed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I tried to redo the pantographing on it, whatever. And they said, "Oh, well, what's that game beside it? Middle Earth?" And I said, "Yeah, it's a Middle Earth. Everyone says it stinks." But then one guy came up and said, "No, man, that's one of my top 3 games ever."
Well, that's what he liked.
Because it was at the height of when Solid State just came out.
Yeah.
They were just making a splash. It was by Atari, which never had any history in it.
Yeah.
They were trying a whole bunch of new stuff. It has a split play field, asymmetrical layout, 4 flippers, 2 drop target banks, a horseshoe, and like a cool scoring pattern. And he goes, "This is exactly the big thing that Solid State was taking over." And then on top of that, I was like, "No, man. What keeps me wanting to coin up in this is the sound effects."
Yeah.
Compared to the early Gottlieb System 1 sound effects, you're like, "Oh man, Gottlieb System 1 doesn't make me want to play it."
No, the sounds were poor.
Yeah, the sounds make me want to not play it.
Yeah.
The sounds. When I hear the Ingenie or Totem, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're just like, this doesn't keep me playing.
No. They were still on chimes. They were still thinking chimes. And tones.
Yeah. So, like even Charlie's Angels or stuff like that, like those all came out.
I know.
Yeah. No, those are great. Interesting time.
Definitely different. But what was I going to say? I was going to say something else about the North Star.
Yes.
It was sort of a dream come true. I mean, 2016 was amazing. When this place opened, it's like, for me, it had reached like a pinnacle. I mean, I'd been in the industry a long time, but this was really like a childhood dream. It was like something I wanted to do. And then when we changed the law in 2017, that was unbelievable. That was like...
So how did you guys open 2016?
Well, the city, we weren't allowed to open. The city said to us, "Look, you're illegal, but we won't bother you." And we took a chance.
It's always good to have your hand in the pocket.
If there were a lot of... No, there was no payola. But if there was a problem and complaints, we would have got shut down.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's a community too. The regulars, I mean, they look out for each other, and you know, sometimes it gets really busy on the weekends. It gets insane in here. You're waiting to play a pinball. People are always well behaved. I don't know. They have a sense of respect for the place.
So what are your future plans for North Star? I know maybe this is a little premature.
Well,
what are your future plans?
I think we want to start operating around the city. We want to take this out further outside.
Yeah, give everyone a taste.
The North Star is sort of like the headquarters, and sort of like the, how do you say, the flagship of what pinball is to us. And what we're going to put out in other bars are going to be more modern machines, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, we've already started to do that, right? We put out a few things, and we want to do it around the neighborhood here, and we want to spread pinball out on the main and the plateau because it's such a cool neighborhood, you know?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of eclectic culture that I get in Montreal. The food, the wine, the drinking, like the whole thing, the lifestyle. It's very conducive to pinball.
It's more European.
Yes, absolutely. And it wasn't that long ago where I watched a documentary where a guy was saying, like, you cannot play pinball in France.
Yeah.
Like right now, in all of France, there's nowhere to play pinball.
Yeah, maybe a cafe here and there.
He was saying that it's pretty much like he's a collector. He had the whole thing, and he was like, "There's nowhere else to play.
Yeah.
I have them all." You know, so or even if you do go play in a cafe, then you're playing a game that's under maintained.
Yeah.
You're not playing the true.
We're not only catering to collectors here. We're catering to people walking off the street and go, "Holy shit, I haven't seen one of these in 20 years."
Yeah.
You know, we're getting a lot of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's the presence. Like when I step up to one of these machines, the art, the lights, you're just kind of drawn into it, and it has a lure. It has a kind of this taboo around
a little
it.
bit. Yeah.
This taboo around it.
Yeah, I know.
Everything just fits. Everything just fits.
Yeah, we're very careful with the aesthetic.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Oh, this is awesome. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take pictures, and then what I'm gonna do is just have your dialogue to pictures. I'm gonna throw up on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
And I'm gonna throw up on the Facebook.
Love it.
And then that way, guys get a feeling for like what it is that they're walking into.
Yeah.
When people walk into a place like the Rec Room, there's no soul.
No, it's
That's the thing.
glass.
Yeah. There's no soul there.
No soul. No, you're right.
And it's different when you walk into a place that's homebrewed, that
Family owned.
Yeah, family owned. There you go. That's exactly
Talking
it.
about those guys, you know, same shit.